I went digging today, and underneath the rough exterior of injury concerns and is Jim Harbaugh better than Kyle Shanahan and all that kind of stuff, I found several big wins on the day that I can't wait to tell you about in this episode. Hit subscribe if you're looking for daily 49ers content. I'm going to get to a bunch of big wins on the day, but first, I have a win on the day. I'm not sure if I'll call it a big win. I'll let you decide, and you can let me know in the comments if you feel like it was a big win. But the day started today with Diana Rossini reporting that the 49ers were interested in a trade for a wide receiver. That was interesting in itself. Then later today, we learned that Jacob Cowing felt, quote, his hamstring yesterday, another hamstring issue kind of cropping up, the same hamstring he's been dealing with, which is why he missed practice again today, per Kyle Shanahan. So you've got a real problem now with a guy in Jacob Cowing who's been out there for one practice. That's an issue, and I'm really, really, really disappointed because I want to believe in Jacob Cowing. What he showed in preseason last year, I believe in the kid. 4.3 speed. The guy is twitchy. He's hard to tackle. Deommodore Lenoir himself said he was hard to tackle. But then when you look at the wide receiver room right now, Brandon Aiyuk, he's going to PUP, most likely. Juwan Jennings, calf-ish. Joe, don't at me on that one, bro. Just kidding with you. Ricky Pearsall, okay. Demarcus Robinson, suspended. That's confirmed now. 3 games suspended. They're hoping to get it down to 1 or 2. Jordan Watkins, ankle. Jacob Cowing, hamstring, continues to bug. Russell Gage Jr. Those are the wide receivers on your list. That's 7 wide receivers. Even if the 49ers kept 7 wide receivers, Brad Graham said, there's only 2 potentially that would suit up week 1 if everything is the way it is right now. That is a major concern, and it explains why the 49ers are desperately in the trade market, right? Well, then we learned just a few minutes ago, like 15 minutes ago, that the 49ers got Skye Moore. They traded with the Kansas City Chiefs, and what they did is a pick swap, a 7th round to a 6th rounder for a former 2nd rounder, 54th overall pick in Skye Moore. The guy has had a couple 100-yard seasons, nothing like totally amazing. He's kind of a depth guy for the Kansas City Chiefs, but he has looked good in preseason, so there's a shot there. The real selling point for this guy, he has a 4.4, he runs a 4.4 40. That's great. He's kind of a smaller receiver. You know the 49ers have had many small receivers over the years. No surprises there. But his 10-yard split is 1.46. That's insanely fast. And, you know, he's about to get the best opportunity he's ever had in his life to make a football team, not just make the 53-man roster, but be a successful wide receiver. And you know how good Kyle Shanahan is to wide receivers if they can come in and pick up the system quickly. We know Demarcus Robinson was able to pick up the system quickly as a vet. Maybe you get a similar experience where Skye's been in the league for a few years and he was injured in 2024 the majority of the season. Like, we went down in October and he was on IR. So we don't have a whole lot of recent data on the guy outside of preseason, which looks okay. But what I like that the 49ers did is they did a good, smart bit of business. Danny G making a fairly reasonable point. Danny G always makes a reasonable point. I should really connect to them. I'm assuming Skye Moore makes the team since they bothered trading for him. Not much production so far in his career. Missed most of 2024 with an injury. Maybe he can find a role, at least provide some depth at wide receiver. And more importantly, the 49ers go and get him. As many people have said, the 49ers are really interested in trying to trade for someone on a rookie contract, and that's exactly what they did. A 24-year-old young man, 24 years young. Let's see here. Or maybe 25. I thought he was 24. I guess maybe he's 25. New 49ers wide receiver Skye Moore will count $1.5 million against the salary cap this season. It's the final year of his rookie deal, so that's a fantastic opportunity for him. This is the best opportunity he's ever going to get in his life right here. This is it. If he can join this team and he can be productive early on in the season when the opportunities are available, and they're going to only be available in the early part of the season, but there will be opportunities. So assuming he makes the team, which I agree with Danny G on, I mean, they wouldn't have gone through the effort of trading for him if they didn't believe he could contribute. That's my guess. Then you got him on a prove-it year portion of his contract. This is a good situation for the 49ers. Again, I'm not sure I'd call this a big win. I would call it a win for sure. But let me know in the comments, do you feel like Skye Moore, he's definitely not the wide receiver that everybody was talking about and expecting the 49ers to move for or hoping the 49ers would move for in free agency or in trading. And you know what? I will just say this. I like the 49ers doing smart business because on paper, if everybody's healthy, this is a very, very talented, not just wide receiving group, but receiver group, including Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. You got to always include them in there because they're always in the conversation for most targets in a season. So they're always going to be up there. Kyle Shanahan likes to spread it around. He needs weapons. They got another weapon. He may not be the most proven weapon in the world, but I like the move. Another big thing, and this one I would say is a big win. Longtime subscribers, I see you in the comments. I know I have slept on Tatum Bethune before. Not intentionally, but I have. Not this time. Tatum Bethune he absolutely destroyed Ashton Genty on Saturday. Can we just be real with that? He sent him to the tent. That was a big play. I was texting with my brother-in-law, who's a diehard Broncos fan. You've seen him on this channel. I think I've already told this story, so I'll make it quick. But he was like, hey, how is Ashton Genty looking? Because he wants to know, inside scoop, get as much information as humanly possible. And I said, he just got hit so hard he might end up in the tent. And I was joking, but it ended up being real. He ended up in the tent. He came back out there, but Tatum Bethune absolutely rocked him. Well, this is what Robert Saleh said. Get this. Robert Saleh compared today Tatum Bethune to Dre Greenlaw, one of my favorite 49ers linebackers in recent memory. Absolutely love Dre Greenlaw, as we all do. How could you not love him? But here's what he said. Similar to Greenlaw in that neither linebacker ran a fast 40, but GPS trackers indicate he has a much faster play speed, which is far more important when it comes down to it. What you care about isn't how fast they can run in a straight line in a combine scenario. You care about how fast they can be with pads on while thinking and processing in a game scenario. So that's huge. I think that's a big win. Another big win that I dug up here. Undrafted free agent Drew Moss. I almost said Moore. Different guy. Drew Moss got huge recognition. This is pretty wild recognition, honestly. A guy who comes from my neck of the woods, at least has been in my neck of the woods for the last 2 years in Colorado, playing at Colorado State. He just received this incredible recognition. Pro Football and Sports Network's Bjorn Bergstrom recently highlighted Moss as San Francisco's most impressive rookie during the team's meeting with the Raiders. Those are strong words, my friend. Those are strong words. Moss has a long way to go before he's seen as a starter, but he's on his way to proving that he belongs in the league and that the teams that passed on him, including the 49ers, were wrong to do so. Drew Moss also been making a plenty of waves as an undrafted rookie. Here's what Bergstrom wrote. Moss has been a lone bright spot for the San Francisco offensive line, San Francisco offensive line that has otherwise struggled blocking the run, having just 3.1 yards per carry per team. As a team, he ranks 7th among 31 rookie guards with a 73.3 PFF offensive grade. There you go. 7th among 31 rookie guards. You'll take 7th out of 31 from an undrafted guard all day long because there were a lot of dudes that were taken ahead of Drew Moss that he scored better. Limited snaps, preseason, huge caveats, asterisks, whatever you want to call them, but I like it. I'm not gonna hate on it whatsoever. Another big move big win we got to talk about. Alfred Collins. He got a slow start. We all know Alfred Collins got a slow start, being out during OTAs, had that all the second-round draft picks virtually, almost all of them were in a kind of a weird situation. So he's waiting. His contract comes down to the wire with training camp, but he just got some special recognition as well. Robert Saleh says that Alfred Collins has had a good week of practice, especially against the run, and that his technique and drill work has been improving throughout camp. Or maybe a technique in drill work. Maybe that's what he meant to say. And Nick Wagner, who, if you don't follow Nick Wagner, ESPN, you should, but he's always at the practices, and he's always doing a full, long breakdown of all of those practices. And here's what he said, talking about Alfred Collins. Few notable things. Alfred Collins had a good rep against Nick Sakel, shocking him with power and then disengaging. He also had a good battle with starting center Jake Brendel. Defensive tackle Evan Anderson, while we're talking about people who did a good job, had one of his better days in the drill as well. He had good push against Sakel and Dunn and had a really good battle with rookie guard Connor Colby. Colby has thus far proved to be a guy who shows up better in games than in practices. That's the rest of that quote. I don't know why I got cut off. Don't ask me. The bottom line is, though, we're happy anytime we hear Alfred Collins is trending in the right direction. And I know he had some bad plays. He had some bad plays. But for what you're asking Alfred Collins to do, and for what you're hoping he's able to do, anytime you hear the defensive coordinator saying he's making improvement, which every single time Robert Saleh talks about Alfred Collins, he talks about improvement. He's seeing improvement week in and week out. That's a good sign. We want to hear that. Robert Saleh is not the type of guy. He'll say nice things about his players. He's not going to totally berate them or anything, but he will also call it as he sees it. We've seen him do it many, many times over the years. Robert Saleh will call it when a guy's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. He'll say it in nicer words than I just did, but the bottom line is anytime you hear Robert Saleh saying good things, that's great. And when you hear that he's making strides and he's improving technique, that's all you want to hear about Alfred Collins right now. Nobody's expecting Alfred Collins to be a massive pass rush threat this season. I saw some of you guys talking about that in the comments yesterday. Great points. Yeah, you're right. No one's expecting him to do that. We are expecting him to eventually become better at pass rush, but that's not why he was brought in. He was brought in to be a massive body, a monster, and we brought him in to stop the run, and he's going to do that. I just don't know if he's going to be ready week 1. That's the big question, but I like that he's trending in the right direction. One more thing that I wanted to get to, NFL.com predicting the 49ers will return to the playoffs in 2025. That was a nice thing, came out yesterday. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. Just wanted to throw that out there too as a little bit of a cherry on top of all the big wins that the 49ers had recently. We've had some losses for sure. Jacob Cowan continuing his injury. That is a huge, huge disappointment. But it is exciting when you have analysts for NFL talking about the positives that they're seeing and saying basically the way that they see it, the 49ers are going to find their way into the playoffs in the NFC sort of no matter what. Like one analyst said, even if they lose, they don't win the division, they're going to be a wild card win. The other one said he actually picked the 49ers to be third in the division behind the Seahawks and Rams and said that they're still going to get in as a wild card. So that's awesome, you guys. Like, I'm happy to hear even people who don't think the 49ers are going to win the division, I think they do have a good shot. Like, no offense to Matthew Stafford. Like, you can throw him out there and you can say he's on the practice field. Like, okay, I'll wait until I see it in real game scenarios, and I'll wait until I see it for 17 games in his old age. I don't see it happening personally. That's just my personal take. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, appreciate you guys. Hope you found these big wins to be positive for you. We're 3 days away. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I just got to double check because sometimes I mess up those numbers. We are 3 days away from the San Francisco 49ers playing against the Chargers. We know there are basically not going to be any starters out there. Any starter that Kyle Shanahan can keep off the field, he's going to keep off the field. That includes guys like Brock Purdy. You're not going to see him out there. But we'll see. There will be a few starters that will have to play based on the current depth chart, based on injuries. It will happen. But we're so close to cutdown day that this is going to get really, really interesting. I believe cutdown day is Tuesday or Monday, Tuesday, somewhere around there. And we really will know the full scope on Wednesday when you see who made it through, who made it through and made it to the practice squad, right? I'm like, what is the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. All of that included. Let me know what you think in the comments as always. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening.